That's the first slice, and that's perfect. You don't need the machine, but it really helps. Look at that. Hey everybody, Rich here with Hooked Up Fishing. Are you sick and tired of paying $8, $9 for a pack of beef jerky to go fishing, or just to have for a snack on a road trip? It's really rough out there, so there's no fishing this weekend. There's the big snowmageddon happening on the whole East Coast. And down here in Florida, there's 8 to 10 foot seas, so the winds are up to 40 miles an hour, so you can't even stay inshore and have an enjoyable day, plus the temperatures are dropping. So this is really easy. If you've never made beef jerky before, you do need a couple things for kitchen equipment. You don't need a meat slicer, but if you make jerky a lot, it really comes in handy. What we have here is some lean, cheap beef. Before gas prices went up and inflation started, you used to buy a piece of beef like this. This is 5 pounds of eye of round. You used to be able to get it for 10, 12 bucks. This is 25 bucks now. So we're gonna use this. Lean meat is the best because you don't want any fat when you're making jerky. Otherwise it'll get chewy and real grizzly. It's rubbery. It's like having an elastic band in your beef. But this is one of the simplest things that you can make for a snack. It just takes a little bit of preparation. So the first part, it's good to have the meat kind of semi-frozen, if that makes sense. So I defrosted it in my sous vide. So it helps if your lean beef is semi-frozen for slicing, because then you get a nice even consistency. So I haven't used this machine in like 2 years since we moved, but it's good. So let's turn this on. I got 2 loins here. Try and find a nice even position for it. Let's see how that came out. Oh yeah, that's the first slice, and that's perfect. You don't need the machine, but it really helps. Look at that. Make a pile of this, and we'll see how it goes. Look at all this jerky we're gonna have. We can cut this up into smaller pieces, but I mean, look at this. It might be a little thick, but it's been a while since I did this. We'll see how it goes. Okay, what I'm gonna do next is make the marinade. You gotta marinate it for 12 to 24 hours. Usually overnight's pretty good before you put it on the dehydrator. That's pretty simple. Soy sauce. We're gonna go with about 4 ounces of hot sauce. This is a 12-ounce bottle, so we will split it into use about a third of this. Okay, then we're gonna put a bunch of garlic powder in here. Same thing with onion powder. Red pepper flakes, and some black pepper. It's okay to go heavy. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut these up into smaller sizes. This way we can be more efficient. They have a little bit of fat. I kind of cut the fat out. The more fat that you take out, the less chewy it becomes. I trimmed up the majority of fat pieces that were in the beef. It's just better after doing this a few times. So I tried to cut this out as much as possible on every piece. I mean, not everyone's perfect, but if you have a strip of fat in there, when you go to bite the jerky, it gets real chewy. So you can see here that most of this has no fat. There might be a little piece here or there, that's okay. But you really don't want big veins of fat. So what we're gonna do is just mix this up. Then we're gonna cover it. I might give it one more stir in the middle of the night, or just to get everything kind of even in here. But it looks like 2 bottles of that was the right amount. 2 bottles of soy sauce. And I've done this a few times. You really can't screw it up. You just know what your taste is, whether you like it hot, spicy, or sweet. Kind of doing no carbs, so this is perfect snack if you're doing keto. Have a little beef jerky lying around, fills you up. You can see how the first stuff that went in is already turning this nice brown from the soy. So all this will look like that in the morning. All right, I'm gonna cover it and we'll see you in the morning. Welcome back, good morning. The jerky sat in its marinade overnight and we're taking it out of the fridge. We're gonna dry it off, we're gonna pat it dry, and then we're gonna put it in the dehydrator. So what we're gonna wanna do is drain all the juices and then we'll start patting it dry. All right, now for the fun part. We get to put the beef in the dehydrator and watch it turn into jerky. So when I purchased this a few years back, this dehydrator, it's from Cabela's. I'm like, go big or go home. I bought the biggest one, but it takes up a lot of space here. So if I had to do it again, I would have went for a smaller one, because when you're making beef jerky, you don't get a huge yield from 5 pounds, which is pretty much all the beef you need the last weeks. I'm gonna put it on for 24 hours. Temperature, 80 degrees. It's in the dehydrator. We'll see you in a day. All right, here's the big reveal. Yep. Good flavor. Good snack. I'm excited to have this lying around. Been looking for snacks that fill you up, but aren't bad for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed my jerky video and found the tips useful. And if you've never made jerky, you give it a shot and try it on your own. It's pretty simple. It helps to have the meat slicer, but you don't need it. That tip on freezing the meat and then letting it defrost about 75–80%, so it's still a little frozen, will help you cut it in nice consistent pieces, so it's not too thick, not too skinny, because you want them all to be kind of that same thickness, because they'll dehydrate at the same rate. And the other tip that I do is I vacuum seal the ones that aren't going to be used, so they don't get any moisture. And if this was at the store, you're looking at probably $75 worth of jerky at $3 an ounce. We have about 25 ounces, from 5 pounds of meat down to 25 ounces. So that's the yield on 5 pounds. And if you enjoyed this, most of my videos are going to be fishing based, but there'll be some cooking as well. Give us a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.